Fine. All right, cool. All right, we're good. We're set.
All right, we're live, boys.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. This is episode 4. We're filming today, and I got something very exciting that a lot of you, I think, will enjoy. So, I got a question. All right, my name's Jimbo. I'm a regular guy.
What's
I
going
work
on, Jimbo?
Jimbo Fisher.
Hey, what's up, man? I work a regular 9 to 5.
Okay.
Okay. But I listened to the first 3 episodes of the podcast. I'm like, man, if these guys can do it, Jimbo can do it.
Jimbo can do it.
Jimbo can do it.
Yeah, Jimbo, you can do it. So, what does Jimbo need to do in order to get started in investing?
In investing.
Yeah. What does Jimbo
Well,
need?
people come to us all the time and they say, like, hey, I want to get into real estate. And first of all, we have to define what getting into real estate is, right? So it's going to be, do you want to buy properties and keep them, hold them for investments, for rental program, something, a long-term view on things? Or are we looking to, to do a fix and flip? A lot of people that get into it and they're like, they see it on TV, they're like, oh man, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And they like the idea of the renovation of that high of getting this property and seeing it, utterly destroyed, and then it looks like HGTV.
Right.
And I think that's where a lot of people, their mind goes at first. And then I think a lot of people, they listen to a podcast like ours, or they listen to some guru online or read a book, and they're like, yeah, that makes sense, because real estate does make sense to want to invest in. And so there's the curiosity.
Yep.
So I think that first question is what do you want to do?
Yeah, and on the investment side, I think you can look at it from a career perspective. Like you can make investing a career.
Ooh, I like
that
that.
takes time. But another avenue is what you do, the traditional route, to where you can start helping people buy and sell houses the traditional way.
Yeah, so you can definitely do it as a 100% career, but you got to get started. So I think the first route for Jimbo is that he connects with a professional.
Okay, I gotcha.
Okay, it doesn't need to be a real estate agent. It could be. It could be an investor. It could be his relative who's got 18 rentals and has got some expertise in the field. It could be a contractor. So that's where Jimbo needs to start. Wouldn't you say? Grab a hold
I
of
would
somebody.
actually say Jimbo needs to start by figuring out. No, I guess it's interchangeable. Is figuring out what type of investing do you want to start off? Do you want, like you said, there's different types of investing. There's different, you can fix and flip, you can buy and hold. What else is there? That's pretty much it, right?
Fix and flip, buy and hold. I mean,
Yeah, do you want to fix and flip?
commercial. Do you want to do commercial? Do you want to do multifamily? You want to do single family?
Once
You want
you
to develop.
Yeah, so exactly. Once you pick one, then there's
How much
different
money
categories.
does Jimbo have?
That's very important. How
How
much
much
money
money?
does Jimbo have?
Okay, so let's back up, and then I think we can get into, let's say he wanted to pick one avenue, and we can go down that route.
Okay.
But let's back up a little bit. So let's say he finds the professional, whether that's an agent or whether that's just somebody who's a full-time investor. What does that conversation sound like? What does he tell that person? Because either one, if they're professionals, they're busy. They got things
That's true.
going. So what is that? What would you say that conversation sounds like, or what?
You take it.
You want me to take it?
Go
Okay.
ahead.
So I would, if that professional has their best interest at hand,
Mm-hmm.
I'd ask him, "What's your goal, Jimbo? What do you want to do?" So if Jimbo's like, "I want to have rentals in a portfolio for my future," I'd take him down that path.
Okay.
If Jimbo says, like I've watched these shows, my wife's excited about, decorating this house, and I want to fix and flip it, then we go down that route, and we give him the tools and kind of guide him where you need to be. But the professional is going to help him decide or give him the knowledge enough to make a decision. Okay, I have this amount of money, or I need more time to make that decision. So that's why I said, talk to a professional, because we talk about it all the time. Like, you could try to figure things out on your own, but what is that? How long does that take?
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
And I think you'd be surprised as to, because I think a lot of the hesitation with that is, I can go up to somebody and say, hey, I want to get into this, but there's hesitation because they feel like the other person isn't doesn't always have their best interest at heart or isn't willing to help them. But you'd be surprised. A majority of people who are legitimately in the business, whether that's investor and agent, they're more than happy to help.
And the reason I would say for that, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's all about relationships, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about contact. It's all about who you know. So having one more person in your tool belt, that's huge. And then they want to make money.
Yeah, because I mean, reality is that real estate business is a people business. It is. It's not necessarily what you know. It's who you know, and because you got to have connections. You got to be able to have somebody that says, "Hey, I can help you out here," or "Hey, maybe go this way or go that way," or "Do you know somebody that can help me? I'm stuck." And oh yeah, go talk to so and so. And I think a lot of people in the real estate world, the reason they do is because they know, how it can change somebody's life or how it's helped them in their family and their lives, whether they bought a piece of property. And because it's rare you have a bad experience.
Yeah.
And so they're like willing to share that knowledge because most people want to help somebody. It's rare you find somebody that's like I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm not going to help you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what would you do? You've been in real estate for 3-4 years. Somebody comes up to you. Are you willing to help? You're a busy guy.
For sure, yeah. There's people all the time that come in the office and say, "Hey, how do I get started?" Well, whether they implement it or not, that's up to them.
And that's the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
How many people have come into this office? We've had a conversation, a phone call, and they say, "Yeah, I want to get into real estate. Like, can we meet?" And they come, set them up.
Tons.
I've seen them show up in Felix's office, Bailey's office. They sit down. They sit in your office. You give them an hour of your time, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then, do you hear from them again?
No, we geek out on this stuff. I haven't.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I haven't. And I geek out, man. I'm telling them, like, oh, it's this, and that, tools.
Well, why do you think?
Well, because,
what
do I think they don't call?
Yeah, why don't they call back?
Oh, because, they didn't have that drive to continue that going.
Yeah. What do you think? I got an answer.
What's your answer?
It takes hard work.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not easy. And so, it's doable, but anything good in life is not easy. If it's easy, everybody would do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I think I'm not saying that those individuals that came in, they're not hard workers, but they're busy. Mm-hmm. They probably have, you still got to provide for your family. At the same time, if you want to go, if you're not doing it the full-time route, because most people don't do it the full-time route.
That's right. I'm Jimbo. I got to work my 9 to 5.
Okay, Jimbo has a 9 to 5 now. So now we're finding more about Jimbo.
Yeah.
So Jimbo is 9 to 5. He wants to get into real estate. Jimbo's going to reach out to his real estate agent.
I'm going to go on the phone book. No, not the phone book.
You have a phone book?
Jimbo's old school.
Jimbo's old school, man.
So Jimbo's like 92?
Jimbo grew up in the woods.
Oh, man.
No. Okay, so I go to internet and I just, what do I put? You my real estate agents?
I mean, you could. I'd probably look for some type of community online, so investor
Facebook
community or Facebook group. I'd ask around, find out if there's a realtor in town that's good at investments.
Yeah, and I wouldn't recommend just talking to one person and being like, "Oh yeah, this person, I'm going to do it what this person says." I would talk to a handful of people so that you can get a take, and usually you can tell if somebody's if somebody's legit, So
yeah, true.
Like Felix said, I think he hit the nail on the head. It's all about relationships. So talk to as many people as you can in the industry, whether that's a professional that is an agent or professional that you think is an investor. Talk to as many people as you can, and then eventually you'll find the right speed for you. You'll find the right vibe of the person, and then at that point, okay, let's niche down. Let's figure out what this person is doing and how I can not only provide value to them, but also they can help me on my journey.
All right, so Jimbo just listened to that, and he was like, you know what? Hell yeah, I'm going to do it. So he goes online. He figures out the different types. He wants to do fix and flips. He wants to do rentals, and he wants to do single-family homes. He doesn't want to do anything to do with manufactured homes, mobile homes. He just wants to do single-family homes. And then he goes on internet into a Facebook group, and he searches up his local county investor group or anything like that. He puts a post saying, hey, guys, I would like to get started into investing. I started looking into these things. I'm looking to connect with people. Boom, a bunch of people commenting on his post saying, this is my email. Send me an email, DM me, or whatever. He finds someone, and that someone connects him with a real estate agent that person has worked for. Mm-hmm. Now he's about to call this real estate agent. How does he not fumble this? How does he make sure, like, when he talks to this real estate agent is going to go like, dude, stop wasting my time?
Well, I think if the agent is a good one, I think they would take the time to listen to what the person has to say, because if that agent's smart, I think they understand the fact that it's relationship. If Jimbo is not super well versed, that agent's probably going to be able to tell. And as long as the agent is conscious of the fact it may not turn into something right now, but maybe down the way, I'll help Jimbo along. Anthony, I think you could better speak on that because you're a licensed agent.
What would you tell Jimbo? He calls you. You can see that he wants to get started in this.
Mm-hmm.
Jimbo, I'm available tomorrow between 3 and 4, or Thursday and 1 and 2. Come on down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's as easy as it is. So if Jimbo, if an agent is like, hey, you're wasting my time, well, then Jimbo just goes down the road and knows that's not a good agent.
Yeah.
Boom.
So, I mean, you're going to find people, like we talked about, this industry is full of people that will help you.
Mm-hmm.
And like Bailey said, find somebody your speed. Find somebody that's like-minded, that's aligned. Your thoughts are aligned with them. And there's somebody that Jimbo had to start somewhere. Everybody has to start somewhere. So somebody is going to recognize, hey, listen, we'll help you. Now, obviously, we're all busy. We can only spend our time, so much time. We can only give Jimbo so much of our time.
Yeah, Jimbo's got to be conscious of not wearing out his welcome.
Yeah. Be like, Jimbo, it's time to leave. You've already ate lunch here. It's 3 o'clock.
Oh, man, but what about dessert?
Yeah, well, Jimbo, we'll give you a gift card to go to Dairy Queen.
I used all my funds to get over here in a taxi. Can I stay tonight?
Oh, Jimbo, buddy.
Nah, just kidding. Okay. Yeah, no, agreed. So, vibe check. There has to be a vibe check that needs to be passed with the real estate agent that you're with.
Yeah, get with that individual. It doesn't have to be a real estate agent, but, I mean, obviously they're going to be easier to find.
So would you say that it's not necessarily you're trying to find a real estate agent, you're trying to find a mentor?
Oh, yeah. So, exactly. It's a mentor. You want to find a mentor, somebody that can say, hey, listen, I've done this before. What do you want to do? Let's get you pointed in the right direction. If I'm not your guy, go talk to Bailey. He's your guy.
So if that's
Here's
the
Felix's
case,
number.
what's the best way to find a mentor? Is it trying to find one locally or finding one of those mentor programs that they have online?
Good question. I'd say, again, just depends on how you learn, how you can. If you think you can obviously paying for a mentor online. I mean, that's got benefits to it. But I mean, I would say if you know somebody, trust somebody, you can get face to face with them.
Yeah, I agree. I say that over if you eventually find somebody who passes the vibe check, who you're aligned, a professional in the field, then I would say go that route. In addition to that, if you have some capital, I would definitely do some research online. And there's different coaches. We talk about gurus with a negative connotation, though gurus I think are really powerful if they're good, because they'll teach you. Like we have coaches, and they're some would call them gurus, but we've known and done the research on them that they're not gurus, they're durus. They're in the business, and they happen to have a coaching platform too, but they're every day doing the business. And that's important. Make sure you find somebody who's doing the business, not just talking about it.
So to elevate that just a little bit, basically find an actual coach, an actual mentor, not a guru.
Mm-hmm.
A guru, that's the negative one. You want a coach or a mentor.
A guru.
A guru.
Right.
You want a guru.
I guess a good way you can kind of pick that out and start, because there's a lot of those out there too.
Yeah.
Is the good ones or the people that give a lot of value, they give it away for free. They honestly do. They're just like, I don't need your money. I've done really well doing this. I have other more in depth, higher level individuals that pay for that, mentorship, that coaching program. But here's all the basics for you to make a really good decision of what I can do for you. Mm-hmm. And if you want to now take the next step, if Jimbo wants to now okay, I got what I want. Mm-hmm. I figured it, who I want to do business with, then you take that next step and put the money up.
Okay.
And we talked about why you put the money up.
Yeah, I think it was in the first episode.
Learning curve, leverage.
Pay to put.
You got to put your money in the right places.
Yeah, pay to play. I mean, you can learn stuff. It takes a year. It could cost thousands of dollars on a mistake.
Jimbo, this takes time, man. This isn't Jimbo. Don't think that you boom, just from one day to the other. No, this takes takes months, it takes years. Bailey, you said you were about to give up at the 3-month mark. It was going to go on to 4 months, and finally, by the luck of the draw, it happened.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to stay in there, man. You got to, if you're going to do this, you got to stay in there. You got to give it at least a year for it to start and actually start doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think my personal opinion, if Jimbo is a 9 to 5, got a W-2, has a good job, unless his goal is to get out of whatever he's doing and start full time.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best advice somebody could give him is just, hey, listen, take it easy, slow it down. Definitely don't overthink it. Get your feet wet, but look into, building that portfolio, because if you have a really good job and say you're knocking down, $80,000, $100,000, $200,000 a year, why give that up, until you can make it a career out of it, and start building that portfolio, that investment portfolio.
What is a portfolio? What does he need in that portfolio?
I mean, again, that's going to be something you gotta identify.
For Jimbo, who's doing flips, single family homes.
Well, Jimbo
doing flips? Or is he doing rentals?
He's doing rentals. He's doing flips.
Oh, doing both? Okay.
If I'm going to tell you, if I could keep every single flip that I ever flipped, every home that I've ever flipped, I mean, I'd be a lot better off financially than I am now. I mean, not that it's bad, but if you can hold all your properties, I mean, it's monopoly. It's whoever has the most properties wins.
Yeah, and you have to make a decision if you're flipping and holding as to which ones are good to keep and which ones you have to keep the money turning.
Yeah,
flips.
Yeah,
it's
sometimes
a business decision.
Exactly. So I mean, that's all going to be part of the learning experience. But getting number one, whether that's conventional loan, private loan, I mean, because there's so many different things that go into real estate investing, with how identifying a property, getting it under contract, now financing that property or paying cash or however, you got to figure all those moving parts out. And so I think that's what makes it difficult.
So let's segue into that. So Jimbo has done this work. He's found a mentor. He knows the moves. He's like, all right, let me start looking for an opportunity. He's like, oh wait, I have money for a down payment for if I have something comes up. But the agent's going to say, okay, do you have a lender? And he's going to be like scratching his head. A lender?
Lender.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. See, here's the thing.
I live in the woods.
And I'd be like, Jimbo, so I always paint the picture to people. And I always say, here's the thing. The deal always comes when you're not looking for it. It just does. So you have to be ready. And lining up your finances, that's like step one. That's why everybody's like, are you pre-approved? Because it's true. It's true. I mean, I could say, this house right here, hey, Bailey, do you have $100,000 for this house? It's worth $250.
Do I have $100,000? What do you mean? Like to buy cash?
Yeah, Jimbo. It's like, Jimbo, I have this house here. You should buy it. It's $100,000. It's worth $250.
Well, if I'm working at 95, I hope I would have saved up.
Okay, so
for a long time.
So you made $95,000. You have some money. Yeah. You don't have it all. Let's say you have 40%, 20%. Okay. So you have the ability then probably to buy it if you can get a loan, have an over 700 credit score, 600, whatever.
Yeah.
You have some cash, but you say, hey, let me get approved. Let me figure that out. It takes time. It takes a couple days. Come back. And you ask, hey, Anthony, I'm ready. I got approved. I'm like, Jimbo, I sold it to Felix.
Yeah, I took it.
Felix bought it cash.
You snooze, you lose,
and that
homie.
stings.
Yeah.
We've learned that you can, if you wait to pull the trigger on something, even a few hours, you lose out on the deal. It just happened to us, actually.
Yeah, it happens every day.
It was a deal yesterday that in Carefree, Arizona, that acquisitions waited, I think just an hour or two. The offer was ready an hour or two before the phone call was made, and within that hour or two, the deal was gone. Somebody else got under contract. So that's the importance of making sure you have your ammunition and your gun loaded, so that when an opportunity comes and you know it's a deal, you can pull the trigger.
Yeah, and that sting right there, like anytime anybody's experienced that, it's enough. It's a painful learning experience.
Oh, definitely.
And so that's what we're talking about right here, because Felix bought it for 100. Bailey's scrambling.
Mm-hmm.
He did it.
Actually, no, this is what happened.
Okay, what
I
happened?
got it for 95,000 because I was the only one who put in an offer and nobody did. They
Oh.
took too long, and because I was the only offer that was in there, she said, "All right, let's do it."
Beautiful. So he buys this property worth 250 for 95. He's
Yeah.
got to put 30, let's say 40,000 into the property.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm at 130.
130. So now he's all in at 130.
I'm at 130.
Okay, we're 250. Now he can make the choice. Here's it comes. Sell it,
Mm-hmm.
take your money, or
Burr.
burr.
And that's why I made sure I could get it 95.
Yep. So you burr it, you buy it, you renovate it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and then you
I
rent
bought
it
it.
out.
Renovated,
Now you're gonna rent it out,
rent it out,
and then you're gonna refinance.
refinance, and I'm going to see if I can find another one so I can repeat it.
There you go. So that's how you started. You started your portfolio. That's what we talked about,
Boom,
right?
portfolio started. Jimbo should have done that.
Yeah, that's where Jimbo was ready. He talked to the guru. He got his mentor, but you gotta be ready for the deal.
How is he
Jimbo,
ready for that? Like, because you said it takes 7 days, right? But, like,
No, it doesn't take 7 days. It takes a couple days.
it takes a couple days. But what is it that Jimbo has to do? Because he's saying, okay, it takes 7 days, right? But, like, a lender. Oh, okay, a lender. So he's looking for.
Yeah, he needs to have already talked to the lender. Even if he's given his documents and been like, hey, I'm going to buy a property in the next 6 months. I'm keeping my eye out. You're going to find one. You're going to find a deal. It's going to come up.
Jimbo, it stings, but use the sting. The sting, it can be good.
Yeah, the sting
Pain
the
is
sting
gain.
will be good. It'll bring a passion and burn. You won't miss out on the next one. But
That's the only way we learn. We gotta fail. Your mom's gonna tell you, don't touch that. You're gonna get burned, but no, you're gonna touch it.
most people do.
Once you get burned, then that's when you learn. Okay, crap. Like some people, you can tell them all you want. Like, make sure you don't do that because this will happen. But nah, man, they gotta go through it themselves so that they can learn.
And sometimes people need to see because they may not think that's a deal. Like I've talked to people, I'm like, hey, this is a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
You should look at it. And then you can give somebody a good deal, but if they don't know what a good deal is, they won't recognize it. They don't understand
Yeah.
it.
Sure.
It's like if somebody comes to me and says like, hey, here, you want to buy this piece of, I don't know, lumber. It's a truckload of lumber. I'll sell it to you for $100. And I'm like, what am I going to do with all this lumber?
Mm-hmm.
That means I have to take it off the truck and load it up. And then my wife's going to be like, why do you have all this lumber at your house? Could catch fire. What are you going to do? You going to build a fort in the backyard?
That boy sleeping on the couch.
Yeah, she's going to be like, we'll build your house outside. I mean, that's the reality of the situation. But we got to say that thing of lumber is probably worth $100,000.
Yeah.
Or whatever that semi truck of lumber is worth. But if I don't know the lumber market, I'd have to talk to Felipe.
Then it's just good old plain
Shout out
lumber.
Felipe.
Hey yo, Flip, 1983 was Gucci, man. What you doing? Put a question in there.
Yeah, so I mean,
Is he live or what?
He's on the Instagram.
How is he?
oh, really? All right.
I got this in case anybody asks any questions.
What's up, Phil? No, so I mean, you take that lumber, and that lumber's worth a bunch of money. But we got visitors here at the podcast studio. Oh, yep.
Yeah, let me see if I can pause this real quick.